Yeah. 2. Yeah. Aye. I'm jacking the beat, you calling the cops, the yapping is cheap, I call you the ops, the rapping is hating, it's all cause of pop. You get a leak for the ball, get a drop. Feel like I'm wrong when I double it back, cause I'm making it harder to catch that. But I covered the ticket, I call you to visit, you tipping and hit up the cash app. Baby girl been. Yeah. 2. Yeah. Aye. I'm jacking the beat, you calling the cops, the yapping is cheap, I call you the ops, the rapping is hating, it's all cause of pop. You get a leak for the ball, get a drop. Feel like I'm wrong when I double it back, cause I'm making it harder to catch that. But I covered the ticket, I call you to visit, you tipping and hit up the cash app. Baby girl been around for it, yeah. In the old days, I was stuck in old ways, never really trying to flip the old page. Young man tripping at an old age, thinking I was flicking, had a low wage, led the bro days, then a slow praise, thinking it'd be different, it would gon' change, then it really didn't, it's a cold game, yeah, ayy. All I really wanted was the money in the pocket, got over money, but the money ain't a topic, like Bill Doe and the money gotta stop it, kid need food and the whip need juice, I'ma get these views when the
What's good, baby? It's your boy Dale. I'm back in the saddle again. Our motto is to buy, build. We already bought it already, so we already own it, free and clear. Refinance to long-term debt, cash flow. That is the motto. Cliff, man, is that a pretty strong motto, man? What do you think?
Man, the model is strong. Like, you're getting each piece of the invest, right?
What it do, baby? It's your partners looking old, so fresh, cold, clean. You see that thing, guys? Now, I'm going to say it with my chest this time. Take the picture for your mama and them, and I'll let your partners slip. What's going on, baby? How you doing, big time? You doing all right, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Another good week.
Yeah, did we get the bag? Did we get the bag, big time?
Man, we work on getting that bag every week.
Ooh, we talk about a big, nice, juicy bag, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we working on some things. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We in the lab cooking. I got the bag too, guys, but we got to dive right into this thing, guys, because we got a hard stops because we got families and things to tend to on this Friday. Let's get into this thing, guys. We're going to talk about the current market analysis, guys. Now, what's been going on here, Cliff, is we're going to talk a little bit about, man, 401k withdrawals surging right now. We're going to invite in our partners from Valuetainment. We're going to dive into this thing real quick, Cliff, and let's see what they're talking about concerning the 401ks withdrawals surging because of what's going on with the economy. Here we go. Let's just dive into this thing.
401k hardship withdrawals are surging as high inflation squeezes Americans. This is a Fox Business story regarding 401k. So growing number of Americans are resorting to hardship withdrawals from their 401k retirement plans due to financial emergencies caused by persistent high inflation. Bank of America analysis of employer sponsorship 401k plans found that 18,040 workers made such withdrawals in a 3-month period from July to September 2023, marking a 13% increase from June and a 27% increase from the start of the year. Hardship withdrawals allow individuals to access their 401k fund for immediate and substantial financial needs. However, they are subject to income tax and potential 10% early withdrawal penalties for those under 59 and a half, which can be waived with evidence of qualified hardship, like medical expenses and other things. On average, Americans are withdrawing approximately $5,070, similar to previous quarters. Tom, thoughts on the story?
Well, I think there's a bunch of things coming together. We talked about credit cards in America had hit $1 trillion over the last 150 days. They went from 400 to 500 billion, back to $1 trillion as Americans spent through the summer and spent on that. And now we're seeing people pull out. We are seeing in the credit card data that people were putting groceries and people were putting permanent household expenses, meaning gasoline, electricity ends up on your credit card, not paid off at the end of the month. That's now permanent debt. And it's supposed to be a monthly thing where you use your credit card and you get the points because you pay it off. So that's not happening. So this is showing the inflation effect on America, and it's showing the expense of living. And one more thing came up: HELOCs, home equity line of credit.
HELOCs, here we go.
They popped up.
Oh, yeah,
Third
HELOCs
quarter was the
getting big.
largest increase in HELOCs in 10 years.
You know what this means? Okay, so
Jesus.
there's only one word I think about.
Inflation?
Well, for sure, but it's not that. When you tap into your 401k,
Listen to this part here.
when you're tapping into your HELOCs, okay, those two things you do when it's desperation.
Yep.
It's desperation.
Stop that Cliff, man, with what Patrick is saying, man, what are you thinking about this desperation that he's talking about? What are you thinking about this, man?
Yeah, desperation is a good word for it. If you're tapping into your 401k before you're getting ready for retirement,
Jesus.
desperation is the only reason. It's meant for your 60. So, Dale, this is what happens when the Fed, to me, gets out of control.
Okay. Yeah. Like I told everybody, it's when you hear a lot of the verbiage from people saying that we have a roaring economy. I always said you'll know the economy by its fruits, right? That's what me and Clifford, we always talk about. I looked at the raising of credit card debt, right? People manufacturing a pay raise. Then number two, you actually have HELOCs involved now, right? Home equity lines of credit. People are tapping into the equity into the home. What's happening there? How many Americans are doing that? It can be a lot, which means people can be upside down with any little bit of a down tick in the economy, right? Then of course you have inflation, the cost of goods are continuously going up. It's when someone tells you that we have a roaring economy, look at them sideways and say, really, brother? My name is not Paul Wall. I'm not from H-Town, all right? We ain't sitting sideways driving in our cars. We actually need facts and data. And what I'm seeing as fruit does not match what you're talking about when it comes to a roaring economy. Man, get the hell out of here.
No,
Let's stop the cap.
it ain't roaring, it ain't booming. I don't even understand. So to me, if you think the economy is roaring, then you don't understand. You don't understand the market. You don't understand economics. You don't understand business. It's. I think when they talking, it sounds though they're saying it's booming for a slow economy.
Yeah.
Which basically means it's just not quite a recession. Well, it's not a recession. That's basically what they're saying. It's bad, but it's not a recession.
Bruh, when you changing definitions, bruh, to make your narrative a factual narrative, which is really a lie, man, I'm calling straight up cap. Please, we are in a recession. Stop all the BS. I don't care how many zeros you got, but you got in your bank account. I got zeros too, y'all, real talk. At the exact same time, it's something called terms and definitions. Cliff, let me make sure I'm okay. Hold me accountable. The definition of recession is 2 consecutive quarters with negative growth. Am I right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Have we done that?
Oh yeah, we did that.
We in recession. let's stop the cap. Let's stop the cap, man. Come on, man. Am I tripping, Cliff? Let me know. I'll let you find.
Nah, see, that's what's happening right now. So the economy's slowing down. I mean, if you look at what the Fed is doing, you can't help but have a slow economy. You can't raise interest rates at the same time that you pulling trillions of dollars out the economy.
Teach it.
That don't make sense. So if people have less money, that's because there's less money to go around. There's less money than we had last year or 2 years ago. We pulling money out the system.
It's ridiculous.
What do you mean? If the economy is booming, then you're telling me what the Fed's been doing is not working. It's terrible. They should raise rates even higher. They should go to 15. That's what you're saying.
That's if you say this, guys, man, give back your diploma. Give it back to the institution and ask for a refund, right? Because they have failed you. This is not a roaring economy. Let's stop the cap. Now, let's dive into unaffordable homes now, Cliff, man. Now, because people have been tapping into their 401ks, what's been the natural consequence to that thing, Cliff? Very simple. People now, homes are becoming more unaffordable. Let's dive into this real fast, guys. Again, fruits. You know the economy by its fruit. All right, here we go.
Approval falls to the lowest level since April, Reuters, Biden's approval rating has reached its lowest since April, with only 39% of respondents approving of his performance as president, down slightly from October and September. This decline raises concerns about his re-election prospects in 2024, especially as he's expected to face former President Donald Trump in a rematch. The poll also revealed growing unease among respondents about war and foreign conflict. He's been asleep, with 8% ranking it as their top concerns in November, up from 4% in October. This reflects heightened concerns surrounding the Israel-Palestinian conflict, making the highest level of war-related concerns since April of 2022. The economy remains a significant concern for 20% of respondents, while crime and environment were cited as 9 and 7%. So you're making a point that it is going to show up if it continues like this. But if all of a sudden mortgage rates right now, I can go to the next story here that's very interesting, is mortgage rates are now at 7.6, give or take. Interest rates dropped a little bit, right?
Okay. Now, Cliff, right there, why did, in your opinion, why did interest rates drop a little tad in a short amount of time?
Yeah, so interest rates are tied to bond yields, right?
Okay.
And bond yields is the idea of future cash flow based on government bonds or business bonds. Right? So if I'm an investor and I'm looking at the bonds, the reason why the price of those bonds or the interest rate that I'm willing to pay is going to go down is because the future bonds that are coming are going to be lower, which means they're anticipating a cut. That's what they're saying. That's why they're going lower, because they're saying, hey, the bonds we're selling, we're going to sell at a discount because the yields are going to be lower in the future.
I got you, but let me give you a different perspective then, all right? All right? So here's a different perspective when it comes to this. Now, when it comes to the bonds as well, you're correct when it comes to the bond yields, but I believe it's every quarter or semi-annually. What actually happens? The Fed actually has what it's called a auction sale for those bonds, right? Now, what happens normally is you have buyers come there to buy those T-bills and bonds, correct? Here's my question. What if nobody shows up at the Fed? Now we got a problem now.
Well, what's going to end up happening is the Fed is going to end up having to buy them.
But they've been doing it already, though, Cliff. They've been buying them already. They've been originating T-bills and bonds and then buying them back for themselves. So again, that's what I'm bringing this up, saying, hey, if you have this sale, Fed, and no one shows up but yourself, now what?
You have inflation.
But now you have to, instead of cutting rates, you have to raise it a little bit more, because you're trying to slow down the economy right now, right? But if you're buying the same bills that you're originating, you are effectively running a Ponzi scheme. Am I right?
Yeah. As of right now, though, there's been a lot of demand. That's why even you see a lot of banks. They're starting to offer 4%, 5% a bank account, because they've been buying those treasuries that they've been initiating. My big thing about this is the problem that we have is in the medium term, the interest rates are high. So all the bonds that we've been issuing this last year are at high interest rates. Banks have been buying them, businesses, all that. So the problem that we're going to have is we're going to have to start paying interest. The United States is going to start having to pay interest. So the bills we paying out, $700 billion a year in interest, that's going to go to 1.4 trillion.
But again, they're buying the bonds and T-bills that they are originating, which creates more inflation, which is going to, when they create more inflation, you're correct, the interest payments go up. You understand that, guys, the interest payment that we're going to end up paying, guys, next year is going to be equal to the budget of the Department of Defense.
And interest.
Just the interest. And they are just originating bonds and T-bills and buying it back for themselves. I believe right now ain't nobody showing up. Or if someone's showing up, it's maybe 70% Fed, 30% banks, or 50-50, because of the fact that how is it that the interest payments are going to go up to the point to where it's going to equal the budget for the Department of Defense, the DOD, right? if banks are buying your T-bills and bonds? That doesn't make any sense. Again, fruits.
That's why. So everything you're saying is right. You're right. No problem with it. But what does that mean though? If you had to solve that problem, that means you're gonna have inflation. Period.
Yes,
Ain't
you
nothing
are.
you could do.
Nothing.
You gotta have inflation.
Yep, got to.
It's the only way to inflate away the debt.
Yeah.
And then you also at the same time you have to have low interest rates.
You are spot on.
You can't pay the inflation that you're creating.
Can't pay it.
You can't pay it with high interest. You can't pay inflation with high interest rates.
You can't.
You have to have inflation and low interest rates. That's our future.
Yeah, he's right, guys. Again, if you believe that we have a healthy economy, please give back your diploma. I'm talking about your high school and your college diploma. They have failed you. You have failed. If you really believe this. All right, now let's dive into this, guys. We're on a tight schedule, guys. What deals are coming? Very simple. What deals are coming? Here is creative financing deals, guys, are going to become rampant. This is the reason why. Remember we talked about HELOCs. People are now borrowing HELOCs to now pay for necessities to live on. That's dangerous. That's extremely dangerous. When you tap into your HELOC, what do you tap into? Your home equity, which means now you have little equity. Now, some states will allow you to go up to 80%, like a Texas. That's very smart. Mm-hmm. Some states like Cali, no, sir. You can go all the way up, baby. New York, all the way up. Those liberal leaning areas, you can go normally all the way up to 95, 100%, which leads me to conclude people are going to have to get out of these deals and they won't be able to sell them. You're going to see a lot of expired listings, right? There's going to be a lot of that as well. A lot of FSBO sell by owners as well also. And also a lot of owner financing deals as well. In other words, sellers saying, hey, I'll sell you my property, owner finance. Those are creative finance. Cliff, you agree or disagree?
Oh, yeah, I agree. Those deals are coming because the days on market is going up. I've been saying for probably the past year, for the first part of the year, I'm saying prices was going up a little bit, just slower. Yep. Then I started to say they're stagnating. They're going about sideways. Now I'm seeing them start to tick down. Yeah. Especially around the, I would say 500,000 and up.
So, Cliff, let me ask you this question as a licensed appraiser, okay? From 100,000 to 400,000, how many days on market are you seeing?
What price again? You said 100,000?
100,000 to 400,000.
In the DFW area, I'm seeing under 90 days.
So 90 days. Okay, so those are still kind of selling a little bit, even at the high interest rate, right?
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay, 450 and above days on the market.
You're probably getting 90, 120, 150.
Okay, so now you look at 6 months, 7 months, right? Man, that's
3, 4 months.
3 or 4 months. Okay, 3 to 4 months. Okay, 3 to 4 months. That's fine. Now, $1 million and above.
6 months.
And that's minimum.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's minimum. That's. And you have to understand. Dale knows this, especially in DFW. Let's go back 2-3 years. What was the days on market?
Was it 30 days? 21 days? 14 days?
At one point in time, it was 22 days average.
Golly.
We've doubled that now. We're about double that now. But at one point, Dallas was booming. Anything you posted was selling.
My word. All right, guys, let's dive into this, man. This is from a licensed appraiser, somebody that's active in the market. A licensed appraiser, not theory. It's the facts, data, numbers. Okay. Now, subject to investing, guys. This is going to become very prevalent as well. Cliff, real quickly, describe subject to investing real quickly. Yeah,
subject to, you're basically buying the property on terms. Mm-hmm. So the property's mortgage stays in place and you're buying it subject to that mortgage. So basically, I'm going to buy the $100,000 house from Dale.
Yeah.
But that $100,000 mortgage is staying in Dale's name.
Yes.
But I'm buying it saying, hey, I'll cover that and maybe give you a little extra.
Yes, sir, guys. I bought 8 of these deals, guys, in 2008 for $0 in Kansas City, Missouri. And the rate was 2%. And I collected 10%. Yep. I made more than the bank did. 8 of them. And then I bought 2 more in Charlotte, North Carolina. Yep. Those numbers are lining up. Now we got a question real fast, Cliff, on Instagram. Should one consider buying a house in this economy? What do you think?
It's hard to, unless you have an amazing deal. Probably not. I'm in this situation now, so I'm looking at purchasing a home. The only way I would buy it, but I'm going for a deep discount.
Oh,
I've got to make the purchase price match what the mortgage payment is.
yeah.
So to do that, I've got to, if you're looking at a $600,000 home, I'm saying you got to go say, I'm offering you 530, 525.
Ooh, you being generous. You being generous.
I'm saying for a home you really want. You know what I'm saying?
You being generous right now. To answer that question for you as well, and thank you so much for the question. It depends on what you're willing to pay. If you're willing to pay a high interest rate, if you're going to borrow the debt, be okay with it. Just make sure you have enough discretionary income and also 6 to 12 months of reserves in the bank, because you got to pay PITI most likely. Are you buying FHA, conventional? What are you doing? Are you doing owner financing for sell by owner? Those contexts are key to your strategy there. For me, I think it's more wise right now to lease a home right now, because I don't think it's wise to borrow at 8%. And 8%, guys, is A+ credit score. We talking about 750 and above. That's A paper.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I'm saying you would have to offer a deep discount. Besides that, everybody. I mean, big boys, they're waiting.
They are waiting.
Hedge funds are waiting.
Yes, we are.
They're saying these numbers don't make sense because, first of all, rents typically don't go down.
Yeah,
it's got to be a terrible situation, but rents, which means if rents are basically staying where they're at and you have high interest rates, you're not getting the yield that we used to get on the rental properties.
Yeah, that's correct.
So you're getting cap rate compression.
That's correct.
So a lot of these big boys are waiting until interest rates come down so that the cap rates can start making some money. You know what I mean? Your return on your investment.
Well, when you get to the hedge fund area, I kind of dib dabble in the area, the hedge fund area. Looking at a lot of cap rates. I don't look at cap rates. To me, cap rates is really for commercial apartment complexes. I'm looking for a max amount of yield that I'm gonna get per property. I look at per deal as its own business model. Now, the question was, it's a VA loan in Texas with no property taxes in a $200,000 range. To answer that question, if you're a VA, it means you get 100% financing. What rate are you getting? If it's a good rate, can you afford the rate? If it's VA, you're bringing nothing to the table, zero. If you can afford the payment, go ahead.
Yeah.
Do what you do.
On 200,000, I mean, let's say even if you had a 5% interest rate, you're talking about $200 difference.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Move forward with it.
Yeah,
I would say 200 grand. That's the sales price. Move forward with it. I would ask, where the hell are you finding a $200,000 house in Texas?
It's got to be in rural area.
It better be a rural area.
That's why when Dale asked the question earlier about prices below like 400,000, because that market is less interest rate sensitive.
Yes,
because even a high interest rate is only a couple $100 more.
That is correct.
When you start getting to 500,000, 600,000, now you're talking about 1,000 more.
Yeah,
1,500 more. You know what I'm saying?
Again, numbers, data, real quickly, guys. Also, joint venture investing, guys. That is going to be popular. That gives you the ability to act like a private equity investor, because you partner with a hedge fund type of company, and you actually you're part owner of that company, and the company goes out and acquires decreased discounted property. We're talking about single family residences, new construction, apartment complexes. I would stay away from office buildings because right now they are not really popular. I mean, you can get a killer deal right now. If you're looking to get an office space, you can get a killer deal. I mean, a hell of a deal right now if you do that. And lastly, wholesaling, Cliff. Is this a good arena for wholesaling done the proper way?
Oh yeah, wholesaling is always a great opportunity. You just got to know what you're doing.
Yeah,
you got to know what you're doing, and you got to have that kind of business system set together. But man, wholesaling is always there.
It is. And a good way to wholesale guys is to fish for your buyer now, ask what they need or they're looking for when it comes to a property, get all the numbers, right? And then once you get that, you have your exit in place, then go find the deal. That's how I would do that right now. You got to re-engineer the deal. Start from the end and then go to the beginning. That makes sense. You agree, Cliff?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And here's just I'll give you guys a free tip on that too.
Okay.
People who sell businesses, they end up getting a lot of capex, right? Basically, they get a lot of money when they sell it, million, 2 million, something like that.
Sure do.
They can cut their taxes if they buy real estate. So if you can find a business broker, you can contact them and say, I can sell you the houses that you get from selling your business and you can reduce your taxes.
Yes, ooh, y'all, he gave y'all a nugget right there.
That's one that we usually save for people who trying to come in our cash flow club, but I'm giving it to y'all.
Ooh, man, he gave y'all a nugget right there, guys. And speaking of masterclass, guys, we are looking at having another masterclass, right? We're going to probably make it a little bit bigger as far as seats wise and go a little bit deeper into it and how you can locate distressed properties and also kind of re-engineer kind of a wholesaling scenario. We're looking at having that after Thanksgiving, probably the first week of December, right? We're going to begin marketing for this, guys, on Monday. So the seats will go fast, right? We will begin it on Instagram, right? And then it's going to go out to Google as well as to Facebook. You name it's going to be out there. And the seats go quick. They go quick. And the last one we went into the bag on that one. And it was all about distressed property. So this is going to be a webinar, right? A webinar. And at the end, we're going to allow for those attendees to join the Cash Flow Club, right? The one thing I learned today, and I ended it with this, and I'll let you in as well. A friend of mine was interviewing a guy by the name of JT Fox. JT Fox is a real estate guy as well, but he also is a private equity investor like your partner. And he said this. He said, don't go cheap on gaining access to wisdom. There's a reason why the people that are forward thinkers, they'll actually pay to get in the presence of the wise. Because why? They're looking to get into that presence of the wise, but also they get to formulate new partnerships. I'll give you an example. I was invited out to the Vault conference there. I paid $13,000 to go there, even though I was invited, right? Because I want to get in there. Guys, I met Robert Kiyosaki, get set on top of Robert Kiyosaki. I've read all that man's books, every one of them. But here's the big thing about it, guys. You know how many deals that I was pitched in 4 days? 25 deals. Real estate deals. And 2 private equity deals. 25 deals in 4 days. I had 4 hours of sleep per day when I was down there. It was very intense. But I'm glad I went, and I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again because of the fact that of gaining access, guys. So, man, that's all I had. Cliff, you want to say anything, man, before we end the discussion, brother?
Nah, just join, man. We made the Cash Flow Club real affordable, man. I'm trying to get some more knowledge out, trying to help more people. And I'm just gonna say what I always say. Y'all hear me say it every week. One deal can change your situation. So come get the information, come get the knowledge, and see if you can just start with one. And I almost guarantee once you've done one, you're gonna keep it going to 2 and 3 and keep it moving.
And I ended with this. It's a guy by the name of Harvey. Harvey, he's on Instagram. He's one of my good guys out of Michigan. Met him at the Vault, right? Wise individual. He wanted to get into real estate. We looked at some commercial deals together on college campuses. They didn't work out as well, but he is now pivoted. We're still looking at apartment complexes in Michigan, but he's now began another business and he's flourishing right now. And they actually began, and I let him know, hey, if you need any type of capital or partner, I'm your partner. Holler at me. So now he has access to even more capital if he needs to scale the business. And this is a wise man. And the business that he's in, guys, he's in the what is it called? Not the hospice business, but he's in the medical business to where it's a urgent care business. And he is killing the game, y'all. Killing them. And so salute to Harvey, man. But man, that's all we have for today. Cliff, you want to say anything, man, before we get off big time?
No, man. Same time next week.
Guys, man, you know how we end it every time. Don't get mad at us because we look better than you. Before you leave and while you can, Take that damn picture and give it to your mom and them guys and holler at your partners. God bless you guys. See you next week. Peace.
God give thanks. Bless God give thanks.